I want to welcome everybody to Everything Waterfalls, and a lot of times I may have some pretty cool waterfall ideas. That's just to get you going, but I'm looking for waterfall ideas for myself. Now, this is where it all began. About 10 years ago, with the help of my kids, we put in a 75-foot water garden, and to give you a little bit on it, I wasn't looking as far as the ponds to do anything more than to house some of my favorite water lilies. I have 45 different kinds. There's over thousands of them down in my pond, and I wanted to bring some of my favorite ones up here. And with that in mind, I needed the ponds to be a certain depth so I can keep them here in the Ohio weather, because the ponds freeze and you can't let them freeze. And also, I have a lot of Japanese irises, hence there's a bog in the middle of the creek. So a little bit on this back part of it, and we did have 8 great years of service here, but Mother Nature has kind of taken it over, where a continuation of the thawing and the freezing and the frost, and we did put a lot of cement and the foam, and we have 12 different liners and 4 different pumps and 4,000 rocks. I mean, it's a massive thing, but some things come to an end. But anyways, it starts off here with sort of like a geyser, a bubbling effect. That's where it comes from, the lower pond. It feeds the upper end. We already discontinued the spring. There was a spring that came out that was sort of right down in that area. It fell about 3 feet into a small pool, and then it went into a slight waterfall. On the upper end here, it had some cascades. Those are now kind of depleted, and from there it splits off. One waterfall goes into our very small pond, where I tend to put my pygmy rattlesnakes. No, my small miniature water lilies, and right there I just have a new one that I just stuck in there. But that pond goes into another waterfall that goes into this pond, this main hub. There's a big waterfall there. It also goes into the main pond. From there, there's another waterfall that goes to the start of a single creek. From there, it splits up into a double waterfall that surrounds my bog, and the creek goes on into another couple waterfalls that eventually gets to the other one. But with all that being said, I was just at the Great Falls. I don't know if anybody saw the Great Falls. That's on the Potomac River, right in between Virginia and Maryland. And what do you see there? There's tons of waterfalls. So with these universal rocks, and my one kid says, boy, if you knew these were out sooner, you probably would have never did this. I says, not on your life. I would have never put these rocks, because with over 4,000 rocks, I figured there's 120,000 pounds. And basically, even though they're real rocks, the whole thing is fabricated with rubber liners, rubber types of things to house your pumps and stuff, the waterfall wear, and the rock is what it is. It's there to try to cover liners, which right now you can see some of it from all the movement. But to kind of go into what my idea is, I'm going to take the one waterfall, which is the Maldives, which is one of the caves. You can see it down there positioned. That's going to be removed, and it's going to have the cascade, which is a swimming pool waterfall kit, which is huge. I'm going to put it into the bank, because that's another thing. There is like a 1.5 foot slope here, so that's why it kind of makes it a little difficult here. So I'm going to have the Tropicana on the other end. The Serenity is going to stay where I just put it this year. This creek is still going to be there. Then this is where it becomes pretty cool. That's the existing birch. I had a birch tree, a purple leaf birch tree, I should say, and a beaver cut it down. So that was the end of that. Over here is the Cascades. That's going to get reworked a little bit. I do have about 10 different Japanese maples. They're all going to stay in, but I'm going to have the Maldives on that corner. So it's going to be my little Great Falls. We're going to have the Maldives here. We're going to come with this main waterfall. That is going to be the big Oasis waterfall. Is going to be put there. On the other side, is going to be another waterfall, more of a cascading. It's the medium pond, or medium waterfall, 009. And then I'm going to have a dual where you can see one of the cascading ponds. I'm going to have two cascading ponds there. Then on the back side here, I'm going to have the medium Serenity that's going to go into the medium spillway pond. So what I'm hoping to do is still have this high enough where the spillway pond will successfully dump on top of another waterfall, so I don't have to have so many hoses and pumps and stuff. And then of course at the top will be still my vertical waterfall. So when you're looking at the street and we're coming in, you're going to just see waterfall after waterfall, just like you would see at the Great Falls, where it's just a massive amount of waterfalls. And then every pond's requirement is going to be a fogger and then lighting, so the lights shoot through just like Niagara Falls, where you see all the fog and the mist. But that's all stuff that you can create. These are just ideas, and I kind of gave myself 3 weeks to do this project, but let's face it, it's going to be a couple years for me to hike all these rocks out, and they're all going to be reused to revamp each of the ponds and so forth. So we'll let you off at that, and thanks for your stay at Everything Waterfalls.